Seaspiracy is one of Netflix's latest additions to their ever-growing library of documentaries, which includes Tiger King, A Life on Our Planet, Game Changers, and more. But Seaspiracy may just be the best of them all. The documentary follows passionate ocean enthusiast and filmmaker Ali Tabrizi and his wife Lucy Tabrizi on their journey to document the harm that humans inflict on the Earth's oceans and marine species. However, along the way they end up uncovering alarming levels of corruption on a global scale within the commercial fishing industry. Throughout the documentary, various government organizations, non-profits, and businesses are exposed of being contributors towards the damage perpetrated by the commercial fishing industry. The documentary also addresses many controversial areas and manages to draw links between these areas and commercial fishing. Some of the topics covered include whaling, animal abuse at marine parks, shark finning, animal poaching, climate change, veganism, slavery, farming, and political, economic, and social issues. Just to name a few. In a nutshell, Seaspiracy builds an eye-opening and compelling case against the commercial fishing industry, but ever so slightly falls short of truly developing an irrefutable argument.
I was forced to confront a side of the story I never knew, a story of just how huge our impact on the seas had become.
There's a lot to like about Seaspiracy, and in my opinion, my favorite element of the documentary is the way it is shot. Seaspiracy feels like a crossover between a vlog on YouTube, a nature documentary, and a Hollywood thriller beautifully combined into a cinematic cocktail that is worth every minute of its 1 hour and 30-minute runtime. The cinematography in Seaspiracy is also fantastic, especially the opening sequence, which truly feels like something out of a high-budget blockbuster movie. The way they are able to capture footage of the ocean and marine life is jaw-droppingly gorgeous and will have you engaged in the film from the very start. The documentary is narrated by Ali Tabrizi, and he does a phenomenal job in keeping the audience engrossed in the central conspiracy that the film is trying to uncover. On top of this, Ali is very relatable, and his passion for the ocean and curiosity about commercial fishing is infectious. I mean, the very next day after watching the documentary, I went straight to the beach and later spent hours researching many of the topics Seaspiracy covers. That's how influential Ali is as a narrator. But Ali doesn't do it alone. Seaspiracy cleverly utilizes interviews with a credible cast of people to help explain many of their key findings about commercial fishing. The cast includes the legendary Sylvia Earle, Dolphin Project founder Richard O'Barry, environmentalist George Monbiot, shark attack survivor Paul de Gelder, and many more. Seaspiracy dives headfirst into many controversial topics and complex theories. However, it's the film's structural simplicity, excellent explanations, and masterful editing that stands out the most. Seaspiracy follows a tangential structure. The documentary starts with exploring the Japanese whaling industry and then continuously branches out to other topics, which includes, but not limited to, commercial fishing, climate change, political corruption, blue washing, slavery, and finally circles back to whaling. The brilliance is not in the exploration of these topics, but rather how Ali is able to skillfully link each topic together to present an eye-opening and holistic vision of the human impact on the Earth's oceans. Additionally, it is the rational and emotional explanations of these topics which is what helps Seaspiracy build a strong argument against the commercial fishing industry. The editing is also superb. In particular, the use of numerous graphics to simplify complex scientific and economic theories is terrific.
Would you say there's any safety concerns for me making this film?
If you're getting in the way of their business, you are risking your own life.
Seaspiracy clearly covers a lot, but it never seems to drag. It feels as if every single part of this documentary was absolutely necessary and was presented in the most concise manner possible. The film also keeps you on your toes. It'll show you beautiful footage of marine creatures and then suddenly flip to a horrific and graphic whaling scene. Throughout the documentary, I had no idea what to expect, and I loved that. Specifically, the penultimate act where the documentary explores crime, slavery, and murder got me to the edge of my seat and had my heart pounding. This film has real risk. and at times engages in activities which are clearly not legal. As a result, you are always on edge and worried about what trouble Ali and Lucy Tabrizi might find themselves in. I think adding real life-threatening risk is a testament to how passionate they are about saving the ocean and speaks volumes about the importance of what they are documenting. Seaspiracy develops a strong and coherent argument about boycotting commercial fishing and, as a result, seafood consumption. But it does so in a way that is logical. To put it candidly, the documentary doesn't tell you to stop eating fish because killing animals is bad. Instead, it builds an evidence-based point-by-point argument, linking seafood consumption to climate change, slavery, political corruption, and economic disruption, and creates a cause and effect relationship between the points which would appeal to most people's sense of rationality. Seaspiracy is a journey, and by the time you come to the end of the film, you will be amazed at how much you've learned and how your notions on things like sustainability and commercial fishing have been radically challenged. Seaspiracy instigates the audience to develop a deeper level of critical thinking, resensitizes you to the harm humans inflict on the ocean, and may even motivate you to alter your way of living.
Where are the big environment groups? They are deliberately not engaging with the most important issue of all.
Like all arguments, there is bound to be an opposite perspective, and unfortunately, Seaspiracy fails to recognize this and as a result can feel somewhat biased at times. And that really is the film's biggest weakness. I would love to have seen Seaspiracy take the viewpoint of people on the pro-commercial fishing side, and then counter-argue them in order to make Seaspiracy's central argument feel valid and battle-tested. But that doesn't happen. Seaspiracy attempts to do this by interviewing multiple figures at organizations like Oceana and the Marine Stewardship Council, but those interviews come across as twisted and cleverly edited to misrepresent those organizations. I guess what they say is true. The media always twists your words. Another issue with the film is its lack of scientific rigor and tendency to be potentially misleading. What I mean by that is that Seaspiracy gets some things wrong. Many marine biologists have gone on record stating that a lot of the facts presented in Seaspiracy are false or outdated. For example, Daniel Pauly from the Vox reported that Seaspiracy used plastic pollution reports from the 1980s, which had results that are drastically different to recent reports and thus present a misrepresentation of actual plastic pollution figures. Another finding was that in the documentary, they used the words bycatch and discards interchangeably, which is a complete falsehood and thus leads to a misleading message. And unfortunately, there are many more errors like this throughout the film. Sadly, it's these mistakes which hold Seaspiracy back from reaching true perfection.
If you want to address climate change, the first thing you do is protect the ocean. And the solution to that is very simple. Leave it alone.
Seaspiracy has a lot to love and a few things to dislike, but overall I thoroughly enjoyed this documentary. The film's fantastic blend of different cinematic styles, exceptional cinematography, huge range of topics covered, and simplified explanations all tied together with its masterful narration and brilliant cast makes this documentary great. Unfortunately, its lack of scientific rigor and multiple perspectives hold it back from developing a completely indisputable argument against commercial fishing. But it is important to remember that this is a film and not a piece of academic literature. They are not trying to build a thesis here. Their aim is to tell a story, motivate the audience to think critically, shine a light on important issues, and to create an entertaining yet thought-provoking piece of content for your viewing pleasure. And it most certainly delivers on that. Seaspiracy is a great documentary and an absolute must-see. We gave it a score of 8 out of 10. Thanks for watching. Have you seen Seaspiracy? And if so, what did you think of the documentary, and do you agree with our review? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're down there, please drop us a like and hit the subscribe button, as it helps us out a bunch. And if there's a documentary out there that you would like us to review, send us a message on Instagram or TikTok and we'll get right on it. Thanks for supporting The Earther. We hope your day is as awesome as you are.